NHL Network named its top 20 defensemen. We discuss where a couple of VGK blue liners rank when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcasts, and also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Locked On Golden Knights. Find us on Twitter at Locked On VGK, at TD Chris G, at Tony Dasco. And we are brought to you today by Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat like this one right here. You won't want to take your bird dogs off, we promise you. So, Chris, NHL Network ranked its top 20 defensemen, and they never tell us who actually it was that ranked these players, who came up with this list. And thank goodness it wasn't the ESPN announcers. Okay, at least this is NHL Network. So they at least have a clue, right? So Cale Makar, Adam Fox, Miro Heiskanen, Victor Hedman, and Roman Josi are the top five. And when taking a look at this list, a couple of questions here. How is Erik Karlsson of the Penguins ranked 8th? And then for VGK, we've got Alex Pietrangelo, who is ranked 9th, and Shea Theodore ranked 20th. So are those fair rankings for the two VGK blue liners?
So Erik Karlsson was also number 17 for the best wingers. So that's why he was so low on the defensive side.
No, so for centers, where was he ranked?
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, Karlsson is a good offensive defenseman. He's not like a two-way player, like how you would compare a center. You know, he's much better on the offensive side. I mean, he's a good defenseman. He's fair, but if it wasn't for his scoring outbreak, you wouldn't see as much fanfare about him. Your questions were the rankings fair? And Pietrangelo 9, behind Erik Karlsson, behind Dahlin, behind McAvoy, and then obviously the top 5 that you mentioned. I think it's fair. I mean, Pietrangelo doesn't play an exciting game, and I don't mean that negatively. He's not flashy unless he's slashy, but not flashy. See, like what I did there?
I like that.
So he's quick to close on the pucks, and there's a lot of good things that Pietrangelo does. His experience, the fact that he can play 25 minutes a game and doesn't really seem to wear down a whole lot, and he can still perform in the big moments. That's what his intangibles are. And then looking down at Shea Theodore, I mean, right around the people that are just above him on this list, you got Miguel Sergachev, Brent Burns. Again, another one could be a winger also. Drew Doughty, he's just been dropping. Brandon Montour, and then, of course, Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore, you know, he's the poor man's kind of Erik Karlsson, right, who can play a little bit better defense with the possibility to hopefully get north of, 65 points this season. That would be a real nice number for him.
Yeah, and then we talked a lot about the players from around the conference and within the Pacific Division. And Quinn Hughes from Vancouver is definitely someone who is on the radar.
Did I not see him on this list?
Was he number 10? I thought he was number 10.
I might have skipped by. Okay, he's number 10. Okay, good. I'm like,
okay,
how did
I
miss
you looking
Quinn
at
Hughes?
me that way?
Yeah, no, because I did the top. I did Pietrangelo down to 1, and then scrolled down to like 15 and up where Theodore was. So I just ignored that. But yeah, Quinn Hughes definitely. I mean, just kind of stuck in Vancouver, right? That's just the weird thing about his game right now. You don't get to see as much of what he can really do because Vancouver is just in that kind of weird place where they got some talents, but are they in a rebuild? Are they not in a rebuild? They're going through they're churning through coaches every year, it seems like right now. So who really knows what's going on out in Vancouver?
Okay, so Alex Pietrangelo, back to VGK. The question that I have is, will they still have him playing as many minutes? So will South Beach Bruce still have him play as many minutes as he played this past season, or is there just no way to keep him off the ice? And it's pretty much out of the control of the coach, and he just wants to get as many minutes on the ice as he possibly can.
Bruce Cassidy doesn't care that Petrangelo's contract is like through 26, 27 or something like that. Cassidy doesn't care. Cassidy cares about making this year's team contend for a Stanley Cup. And then he cares about making next year's team contend for a Stanley Cup. And then we'll see if he is still around in year 4. Again, I know everyone goes crazy when I mention the possibility that a coach may not last more than 3 years in Vegas, but no one's proven us wrong yet on that. So we'll see how that whole thing shakes out there. So we've hit on this before. Load management is something that this team should utilize a little bit, especially on the defense. They're deep. You have Ben Hutton, who can play on all 3 of the defensive lines and do a good job. He's even seen time on the power play when needed, which was kind of odd, but he finds ways to get the puck in the back of the net or to contribute offensively. Keaton Korczak, he looks the part. Daniil Miromanov, he was really good in his limited showings. Unfortunately, injuries slowed him down. We know what Pietrangelo can do. He's not learning. I mean, you're always learning the game, but he's not learning the game like he was, 10 years ago when he was first kind of jumping into the league. So it would be good to see if Mark Stone, if he has a healthy season, you don't need to play him every single night. You don't. Stone doesn't need 82 games. Pietrangelo does not need to play 82 games. They need to have a good regular season, hopefully top 3 in the division, top 1, obviously, repeat as Pacific Division champions would be the best, obviously. And then you gear up for the playoffs.
And with Pietrangelo, if he didn't have those health issues with his daughter, he would have played an entire season once again. Sooner
Absolutely.
or later, that has to catch up to him. And I think it's going to be important this season with a roster that there are some players that are starting to age, right? And again, like
they've been starting to age for 3 years, but yeah.
We talked about Mark Stone and his back issues, and he doesn't work out. And yeah, they're going to have to regulate. They're going to have to watch. They have to, and his 16 beers in the cup. They're going to have to watch his minutes some. And so that to me could be a concern this season. And then with Shea Theodore, what does he have to do with his game to make a jump? And the fans were all over him in the playoffs. Let's face it.
Start by taking away his girl's Instagram.
Oh, that was coming.
I mean, Theodore, he's what was he? He was on pace with his amount of games played. He paced at 61 points in the regular season. You didn't see a lot from him in the playoffs, except for that goal that we've kind of debated about a couple of times in game 1 or 2 of the Stanley Cup final, where he did his thing on the blue line, fired the shot, and the player either fell down as a result of Shea Theodore's move. However you want to slice that. But Theodore has the ability. We've seen him go coast to coast before and create scoring chances. He has very good hands when he gets in tight, and he also has this really, what's the word I'm looking for? Just not aim. When you see someone that aims really well, targets. I don't know. Accuracy. There's the word. This is what happens when we record at night.
That's why I'm here.
I'm not drinking coffee. That's the problem right now, guys. Not drinking coffee. He is very accurate at picking the corners and finding ways to get pucks through all sorts of traffic. Can do well on the power play, and he's a good defenseman as well. So it would be nice to see his game get to the next level. He's on the cusp. He is on the cusp of it. The issue is defensemen, you're not going to see them getting as many scoring chances unless your name is Erik Karlsson or Brent Burns and, players of that nature. So there's going to be pockets where you're not going to see him score a whole lot, and he's got to make sure he's taking care of home then at that point. We've seen him have some bad turnovers at the blue line, not do a good job keeping the puck in at times. Those are the things that are most important in his game, because once he does get the opportunity on the offensive side, that's the easy part for his game.
Yeah, and we do know that they like the defenseman to join the rush under Bruce Cassidy, and so there will be opportunities for the defenseman to score once again. There will.
No doubt.
And I'm just curious to see how the league and how other teams, particularly in the division, now try to adapt to what VGK has done successfully. That's going to be interesting.
They're going to need to be strong down the middle and get 6 pretty big physical defenseman who can move the puck and skate really well. And there's very few teams that are even close to Vegas in that regard.
Coming up next, we've talked a lot about VGK's prospects. Yes, they do have prospects. And the hockey news had a really nice detailed story, which we'll talk about next. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you by Birddogs. Birddogs makes you look good. Birddogs stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and through the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look, especially when I wore them in the alleged hurricane, the other day. Birddog shorts do the same exact thing as Lululemon, but they fit way better. Have you worn your sweatpants yet? I haven't.
No, I thought they were shorts. I finished getting dressed and stuff, and I opened up. Yeah, I got the shorts. I'm like, oh, okay, I got a pair of shorts to wear. Cool, this is good. I'm like, oh, these are pants. Okay, we'll wear these later on.
Yeah, later on. They definitely fit much better than regular shorts when we're talking about their shorts, and especially the ones that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton. They fixed that issue. They invented something called cloud knit fabric, and it makes you really feel comfortable. And I do enjoy it in all actuality and honesty. And I do wear those shorts when I'm golfing a lot because I get kind of sticky, icky. And so the Birddogs, they also use the anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. So go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter the promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat with any order. Can you see that well?
I can see
pretty cool. Yeah, I've been wearing that a lot before I got my TMZ hat. No comment there. Again, go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL. You won't want to take your Birddogs off. We promise you. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights.
TMZ and no comment don't go hand in hand together.
We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Go to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe there. Locked On Golden Knights. And don't forget, on Fridays, we do have What the Friday.
This is my Tony impression. So, Tony, you didn't realize this yesterday, and I kind of did, but I didn't really say anything.
Was I going gangsta on
you? You did. You had a little something going on. I don't know if you were with the West or the East, or if it's North and South these days, but you had a little something going on, and you got called out on Twitter, on YouTube for it. Pretty cool.
What do they say?
Nothing bad. Just someone said go fix your hat or something, and I said I responded. I said you're no fun. Oh, it's fine. It can be sideways. I don't care.
Okay, so the hockey news. And we promise you, when we say we're going to deliver a show, we will get that out on time. We know that people late last evening, or I should say on Monday night, because we're recording this on Tuesday, we're antsy. Where is the show? Can't take this pressure. It was up there. I just didn't promote it, but it was already out there on the podcast, and we had 100 listeners from the jump. So we appreciate that. So the hockey news, where were we? The hockey news, and Tony Ferrari wrote a piece, and it's a good one about VGK prospects. Some of these they know just statistics, and this goes a lot deeper. And his next man up was Pavel Dorofeyev, and I know that you like that. And what do you feel he needs to do to break into the starting lineup this season?
A good training camp. Dorofeyev came in to the last third of last season really with no pressure. He was doing really well at the AHL level, and he got a goal early. He was off his mask, but he got a goal early, and then he got another goal, and he got another goal, got a couple assists and a couple more goals. And next thing you know, he would have been pacing for like a 25 or 28 goal season if, would have played the entire season. So that's certainly something really good for him to build on. But I think it starts in the training camp. It starts proving not just to Cassidy, but to his potential line mates, whether it's top 6 or most likely top 9. Obviously, the void on the Brett Howden line, is that line 3 now? Yeah. Or that's Mark Stone's line. That's the Mark Stone line. But the Amadio line. There you go. The Amadio line, the void that Riley Smith left behind. I won't say William Karlsson because Tony gets all funny and itchy when I do that. That's a training camp battle, right? That is going to be the training camp battle, assuming all the forwards are healthy. Who is taking Riley Smith's role? Is it going to be the more physical Paul Cotter, who probably fits a little better into the type of player that Cassidy would mold from the ground up. If you can create a player, Cassidy is going to, aim for the physical, guy that's going to go hard to the net, which is certainly a strong point of Paul Cotter. You have a lot more skill in Pavel Dorofiev's game, and it's not a knock on Paul Cotter, just different types of players. But Dorofiev, he's a taller guy. He's definitely not a little guy by any means. Not afraid to go hard to the net, not afraid to get to those dirty areas, but he does have a good shot from the circles. He's played some power play minutes. So yeah, if Dorofiev can come out hungry, he didn't play in the playoffs, and neither did Paul Cotter, but a lot of the other players, obviously, they played 22 games in the playoffs, so they're going to be maybe a little slow out of the gate. And this is where Dorofiev can prove that he belongs. He'll probably be a little bit bigger too. He's always been a little guy as far as weight goes. So if he puts on a few pounds of muscle, I think that can only help him as well.
Brendan Brison's name is mentioned again as a top prospect. However, this time they dug in a little bit deeper. Tony Ferrari in the Hockey News saying his biggest weakness and liability is defensively. And so why
he won't last with Cassidy if that's the case? He will not last.
If that's the case, that's why I think it is a really important season here for Brendan Brisson. But why not get him into the preseason camp, or why not have him shadow and work with Jack Eichel? Because Eichel's defense is just improved and what it takes to become that tremendous two-way player.
Well, that and, playing on the penalty kill. I mean, there's no better way to really learn the defensive side of the game by getting those penalty kill minutes. Obviously, you want to win games at the AHL level, but the more important role of now Ryan Craig and his staff down there is to get players ready to take the big stage. So when Pavel Dorofiev, someone like him comes up, they're ready to hit the ground running just like they did. And Keaton Korczak, same thing, had a good contributions, as did Miromanov, and even Braden Pahal. He looked the part. We even mentioned Braden Pahal earlier when we were talking about defensemen that are, possibly ready to, take the next stride, so to speak. But yeah, Brisson, defense concern. I remember when Cody Glass was stuck in that weird middle ground of too good for the AHL, but nowhere near good enough to be a regular everyday player in the NHL. So I remember seeing Cody Glass getting penalty kill minutes. And as a result, that's blossomed. He's found himself comfortably on the third line in Nashville, which is usually a little more of a defensive type role. You'll get your chances. I think he scored somewhere 12, 13 goals. He had around 30 points for the season or something like that. So his career it's a work in progress, but it's developing. And same path for Brisson. Where can he take his game to? And, learning the defensive side of the game, it's just about committing, right? I mean, scoring, it's not easy to score, but I got a feeling it's a little easier to play downhill than uphill, and defense is definitely uphill for Brisson right now.
It's like basketball. You have to have a will to play defense. You have to have a will to rebound. Rebounding is mostly mental, and as is defense, right, in the National Hockey League. And a lot of players that we've mentioned already when we talk about prospects, Keaton Korczak, Lucas Cormier. A name that we don't talk much about is Daniil Cheka. Cheka?
Am I supposed to take it from there?
That could be it. I just fumbled the name, but
I got the article up. I'm just regurgitating kind of what they're talking about here, but uses his body well, strength, length particularly was the quotes. He was okay first year in the AHL, but struggled to produce anything offensively. So, Braden McNabb, right? Braden McNabb, of the 6 defensemen, he's not the best puck mover. He's definitely not the best on the offensive side of the blue line, but he gets it done. He takes care of home, and he hits really well. So maybe that's where Cheka can develop his game too.
Yeah. And then they don't mention my guy, Jackson Hallam. I really am so high on him.
Give it time.
Yeah, he'll just be a sophomore at the University of Michigan. And they also talk about David Edstrom having a heavy shot. And we saw some of him, but not enough there in the development camp.
No, but we'll see a lot of these guys on the 15th and 16th of September, 14th, 15th,
already
16th.
Here. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2.5, 3 weeks away, basically. You have the rookie face-off tournament. Rookie face-off. I'm not sure the exact marketing slang there.
Just the face-off.
Okay, there you go. So that's happening. you'll really get a good chance to see the Golden Knights, the prospects in action. And they have 2 games at the Dollar Loan Center. So you'll get to see as much of the game production as they decide to do. I mean, I think I'm sure they'll charge for it.
$50, I thought. Yeah, maybe.
Is that what you thought, or is that what it is?
Well, I thought that's what they charged.
Okay, that's right. You researched what it was. Yeah, I do remember that conversation now. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but either way, I mean, it'll be fun to see him on display. And
press pass.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be working Mark Chinook's charity poker events on that Saturday. We'll talk about that later on. Okay. But it'll be fun to see him. It'll be good to see him, in a professional sheet of ice, I guess you could say, and see how the boys take to a production and having their name called out and stuff like that, and where they go with it.
Interesting conversation and great research there by the Hockey News and Tony Ferrari. We want to definitely thank him because that's a good article to read if you have an opportunity. Coming up next, where is the Stanley Cup? We'll return with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights.
Where is the cup?
Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas, where we will rebuild after the hurricane. I can't go over the hurricane stuff because I'm still getting text, right? And people are, everything okay? Is it okay to call you? Is it okay to reach out? Yeah, everything's great. One of my friends, Chris, his wife, she went out and got some sandbags. And he's like, what are we going to do with sandbags? Like, what are we going to do with them now? It's kind of silly.
We have me and Amanda, we were outside Friday afternoon before the hurricane came. And because we get a little water that comes in like our bottom patio, like where the sliding door is down there. So we were trying to see where. So she's inside, I'm outside spraying with our garden hose, trying to see where the water comes in. And we realized there's a small little spots like in the corner or whatever. So all I did was I talked to someone at Home Depot for like 10 minutes. We couldn't figure something out. Home Depot couldn't help me for this little spot. So my genius side of me, I took 3 suction cups, a garbage bag, pinned it against the glass really hard because the problem was water hitting the glass and pushing in and coming under into like the little spillway and overflowing inside the house a little bit, not much, but so it actually kind of worked. I took the garbage bag, make like a little tarp out of it. I put some rocks on the bottom and stuff, and we survived. Only 2 towels were harmed in the process. It was a good weekend.
Okay, so I was expecting a FedEx package on Monday, and it never showed up. And so Mr. FedEx took a photo of this package that had Raiders jerseys inside, and there were a few of them.
Why are you getting Raider jerseys?
So it's for a group, of course. I do events and all that.
I got you.
So a group of folks from Mexico are coming here in November. And we'd like to get a beat on things. And okay, that's done. And now next steps.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Try to be semi-organized. I am semi-organized other than the show. I cannot find this box. It's not here. And it's not at the front door. And the photo they send me is not my porch.
No, those are the best.
Why?
That's the best.
Why? How could you tell? They're stinking plants. Could you see me with plants?
Yeah, there's one right behind you.
Okay, we do have that one, but it's fake.
That's literally the only thing in your area there.
It's the only thing
at least cover your
house.
cords, bro, from your Pioneer TV back there.
You like that? That's old school, huh?
It's how many cords you can have going to the TV? We
got a bunch there.
Why?
In any event,
you get your PlayStation 2 hooked up back there.
Detective Dasco.
Oh, geez.
On the move. I found it. I found the box. They delivered it to the wrong house. So I just took the photo and went walking up and down. There was a big mat in front and they had plants. And so the detective and me went out, found the box. Those folks there, great neighbors, up and down the neighborhood.
I was hoping their dog was going to chase you, like get you for trespassing or something.
No, but see, they must be out of town because they had like 5 or 6 different packages on the porch. And the box was one of them.
So you're checking all the return addresses. You're like, ooh, I'll take maybe this one looks good too.
Where's the Stanley Cup? Oh, okay. Let's get back to the
we're doing a podcast.
So no one mentioned the ugly white beard though. They mentioned the hat, but no beard. No beard comments? That's good. Okay.
They don't care that much.
I shaved it off. It took like 2 hours. So Keegan Colasar had the cup, your favorite. your favorite guy.
I like Kolesar. I like him.
He brought the cup to Winnipeg on Tuesday.
Wait, you said Kolesar or Korzak? I'm sorry.
Kolesar.
Kolesar. Okay. All right. Gotcha. My bad.
Isn't that what I said?
I thought that's what you said, but then I second guessed myself. And
yeah.
You said my favorite guy, and I defended it, but okay.
Keegan Kolesar, who hit the puck up in 220, wherever you're sitting. But he missed the net by that much. Okay, but in any event, he went to the Red River Community Center, and fans had an opportunity to get autographs and to take photos with the cup. It's a pretty cool deal.
What lake did he take it to?
I did not see the water pictures yet.
Okay.
But I did see keeper of the cup had some cookies shaped like the Stanley Cup, and they said John on them. So that was for Marchessault. But that's a little bit late, man. He already had the cup. We don't
sounds like the same FedEx driver got a little late to.
He might have a little late. I wonder if he had to go find those cookies down the street. And so on Wednesday, Zach Whitecloud will have the Stanley Cup. So he's going to have it at the Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. And so that's is that up near Winnipeg? I'm sorry. I just don't know. I know it's in Canada. I think it is up near Winnipeg, if I'm not mistaken. In any event, there is a pancake breakfast that's planned. That's pretty cool. Are they going to eat the pancakes out of the cup? And how many pancakes does the cup hold?
Thinking about that. I will say like regular. We're not talking little silver dollars. We're not 30? Talking the big one. No, I'll 40? Take the over. 40.
How many pierogies? No, it's okay.
Ravioli. It's not ravioli.
You got blasted. You didn't know what pierogies were. Okay. And then we do have that VGK road trip. And we did have some good comedy there. Logan Thompson and Derek England are both on this trip. LT's the guy that'll do just about anything, because that's not a fun bus ride. Okay. Going to Reno, is the worst.
You think Logan Thompson rode the bus with him?
Do you think they flew him up there?
He wasn't in Reno. Reno.
That's one less ring that they're going to order, because he probably broke the budget there. So Derek England, Logan Thompson. Did you see all those kids on the ice? It was
that scared
mayhem.
me. I like
there
your
were
tweet
too many
with
kids
the
on the ice.
Men on the ice. I like that. That honestly, I was like, he did like a behind the back kick and stuff like that, and then I was watching him saving the balls, and they were playing soccer on the ice, folks. That's what we're referring to. It's actually a common thing that they do at all levels. Mostly, I don't think like once they get to professionals, but younger kids to teach them to stay on their feet when they're trying to move the puck and stuff like that. It scares the crap out of me when I watch my kids do it. I'm not going to lie, but it's normal. So
why?
Why? I hate watching them play soccer. Safety. I honestly think it's a safety concern. Someone falls, they're not too strong, blades up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be scary.
It's a concern watching. It makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie. But watching Logan Thompson navigating I'm just trying to think of a comparison right now, but like 40 kids on the ice, and he's putting some effort in out there. Like he wanted to make sure he got the W for his team there. And I'm just, man, if one of those kids, like I get, even when I'm coaching practices and stuff, I've learned you gotta be careful with these kids because they don't know any better. They're just out there doing their thing. And I've seen kids just fall down. Coach isn't paying attention. I've seen teeth get knocked out and stuff, and it's not fun, and you got to be careful out there, especially our $800,000 and $767,000 goalie.
Yeah, for sure. And the good thing though, Bruce Cassidy would have been very proud of those kids being planted in front of the net. He would have liked that.
They were planted
because they do rush the net there. What was this photo with your daughter and the hockey helmet? Does she always do homework wearing the hockey helmet?
that night. It was actually an older photo that popped up, and I'm like, "Ooh, okay, awesome. This is cool." Yeah, it's just like she started doing her work. I don't know if she's coloring or doing homework that night, but it was just just business as usual in the Golick household. Kids just wearing a goalie helmet while they're doing their homework or drawing and coloring. It's normal.
Yeah. I found the jerseys. All is good. We're all happy, right? We can sleep well tonight. That's perfect. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in.
Perfect closer.
Especially our everydayers. Never know where we're going to go.
Neither do I.
Without all of you folks, I don't know where we would be. I would be out there still looking for my box. Seriously. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, Friday is WTF What the Friday. Please line up your comments They are so enjoyable. We love to read them on the air as well. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights, and find us wherever you get your podcast. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. The hat sound okay? Is it straight?
You're good.
Okay. So I can at least get out of here then. We thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you again on Friday right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.